Hi everyone. Thank you for my last video, for your likes, your views, your comments. They really meant a lot. Thank you so much for your comment. Every comment were well received. Thank you so much. And for every new subscribers on my YouTube channel, thank you so much. Thank you. For your shares, everyone shares. Thank you so much. God bless you. So this is a continuation on body shaming, and like I shared in the last video, I shared a part of my own story on body shaming. So today we continue and bring it to you from the last video. I told us how that I prayed, how I resorted to praying, that I told God, Lord, can you please substitute my bust for my back? Like God gave me yash. Who prays that kind of prayer? That was what a teenage girl resorted into pray, to saying, talking to God about. And I got a word of affirmation from the scripture. That's from Psalm 139, the part of it that says that I am wonderfully and fearfully made. And I told us how that I kept on confessing and I kept on confessing and like that. And from there, I went on to find 3 models. I found women that are successful, not just in marriage, in career, in ministry, in business. And I was able to find 3 women, and that's Mam Shola Shoboale, Blessed Memory Rachel Luniga, and the Blessed Mother Joyce Meyer. Thank you, every of these women, and for every other woman out there. Thank you for standing true. Thank you for being the best for yourself. And I told us how that I am someone who will always love to reply with a song, but I couldn't get any song. I couldn't lay my hands on any song at that time. So, and I was looking for a proper way to stop it, to tell this other person to stop. And I had to ask for God's wisdom. And thankfully, it stopped with wisdom. Because if I had put it out to her, because I'm feeling a deep pain within me, I would have lost the relationship, and the relationship still stands till now. And one thing I did not do, that I don't know what it could result to, was telling my parents. But thankfully, I stood up for myself, which you need to do. So I have found out that in every problem, a lot of times it is very hard for us to see the positive side of it. It's always so hard. But in every problem, there's always a positive part of it that can actually help us get up and pull down that same negative thing that we are in, or that same negative situation, that problem, what we call a problem that we are actually in. Every problem has a solution in it, if only we can allow ourselves to see the positive side of it. I know it can be very hard, but if only we can allow ourselves to see the positive side of it, then we'll get every result in that same problem. Now, continuing today, I said I'll be sharing with us the positive side, the negative side, and what I learned. Now, on the negative side, starting from the definition of body shaming, I made us know last time that it means an act of bullying, negatively judging people, and it results to severe emotional trauma, especially when the receiver is at a very tender age, and that tender age is the problem. Now, the negative side that I have found is, one, it causes severe emotional trauma. I have list in here. It's called severe emotional trauma. When you keep throwing something at someone, especially when it comes to word is very powerful. When you keep throwing word at someone, it causes a lot of things. You damage the mindset of the person. One, you damage the movement of the person will be limited. The vision of the person will be limited. Emotionally, the person is being downcasted. So it has several parts. It causes emotional trauma. I can be seeing something for a very long time, and probably let's say I'm seeing something good for a long time, and the moment you start up with your own idea of judging me wrongly, every time is always wrong, every time is always wrong, every time is always wrong, and it continues like that for years. It's registered in a child's memory that it is always wrong. Hardly will such a person think of the good side of it, because it has always been from the negative side that the other person has been talking about. Now it causes emotional trauma, which we need to help our society. We need to help our young boys and young girls out there to see the good part of themselves, so that they do not register that in their memory, and that's pulling them back from achieving that desired aim, that desired future they have for themselves. So please, the first thing it causes is emotional trauma. Secondly, it silences the voice. It silences the voice, which is very, very true. Everyone who have been through body shaming like I have, actually it silenced my voice. And the thing we always want to do, like majorly myself, I prefer to be behind. I don't like to be seen. Hardly will you find me take picture with group or take picture and you have my picture on your phone, because I just want to be behind. Yes, I want you to hear me, but I just want to be behind. How can I be talking and you are just seeing nothing, and all you are hearing is voice? When someone is speaking, there's always a longing within the hearer to see who is speaking. But on my side, and everyone who has been like me, whose voice is silent, always want to speak, is that behind or below. We believe that, or I believe that, every other person can speak for me. I believe that someone else can be speaking. I will be hailing the other person, giving the person energy. Meanwhile, I am always behind. Our voice is always silenced. Academically, it affects. It affects career-wise. It affects ministry. It affects every area. Even in marriage, you find some people's voice are still silent in their marriage today because they do not have any energy to pull up for themselves. So it silences the voice, and which means it make our smart self hidden. Will become hidden for years. For years, I think till around last year, whenever I want to ask questions, I have my people around, I'd rather tell them, and they'll be the one to ask. Be it is a good question or whatever way, I will tell them. And sometimes some people will already given me an answer, even without the speaker answering me. So my voice will just go quiet like that. So at a point, I told myself, I will not allow that anymore. If I need to ask a question, even if it is shameful or if it is good, I will stand up by myself and ask the question by myself. Because for many years, I have kept quiet. And I've seen a lot of things fall apart because I was quiet. And that's the truth. When you are quiet, you see a lot of things go wrong. Inside of you, you are fighting it, but you cannot talk because you have not found that voice. You need to find your voice. And I'm calling out to the society, please help that girl. Do not let that girl get to her 20s before she can speak. And there's always a positive side of these things. Now, the second one is it silences the voice. Now, it causes self-rejection. Yeah, I remember how that there was a time that understand that most of these things happen from, we receive it from the people within us majorly, most times. I remember that there was a time that almost every Saturday, all of a sudden just happened that I will hear one or two persons who tell me that it was what color riot buying, and I'll feel bad, like, even you that you're not up to my age, you're a younger sister to me, you have the God to talk to me like this. What's your problem? Didn't you just have respect for people? You just talk anyhow. and I'll air someone else who is also older than me. So both of them are always saying it's as if they planned it. And I keep hearing this word every Saturday. When it was getting so much, I had to tell them, without joking, I had to tell them, if you know you cannot buy me a cloth, make this color riot change to color blending, then don't talk. So when I tell them, it's as if I shun them. So they keep quiet. It will go silent for a moment. Later it will start up again. Then I will look at myself, wait, am I truly wearing color riot? I'm not wearing lemon. I'm not wearing orange, sharp orange. The colors I wear most times are either gray or black, or they are coffee brown. So how am I wearing color riot? How is it color riot? I wear black, wear white. I can't even count the numbers of my clothes back then. Like I can number them. So how come I am wearing color riot? But it kept on like that, and until one day I was able to look at both of them in the face, and I told them, I said, if you know that your parents are still the one buying you clothes and you cannot provide anything for yourself, at my age I am providing for myself because my parents taught me this. Even with my 2 kobo that I was collecting, I told them, I said, see, you are not the one providing all this you are wearing for yourself, but you see this one I am wearing. My dad knows the source of it. My mom knows the source of it, so I do not borrow it. I got it for myself and the one my parents got for me. So you cannot come and tell me color riot, I'm wearing color riot, when it is your parents that are buying clothes for you. So I told them, I said, if you know you cannot for once in your life, those are the words I told them. I said, if you know you cannot for once in your life, change someone's wardrobe, like from beginning to the end, then don't you ever make that statement again. And they went on murmuring. That was what the result. They went on murmuring. And since then, it went silent. That word went dead. The word has gone dead. Like, except if I remember them, I just laugh of them. I said, thank God. Thank God I was able to shun them, and I just encourage one or two people whenever I hear them going through such times. Let's see. Sometimes you need to silence all of this word. You just need to silence them. Because they are pain in your flesh. And your mind will continue to grow with these things if you do not silence them. In turns, it becomes a deep pain in your heart. A deep pain that you cannot share with people. And from there, since you did not silence it, others will come from nowhere. They will also build on it. Piling up your pain, adding to your pain, and it continues to grow and grow and grow. And at a point, you act them out unknowingly because you did not stop them. So when they were telling me that I wear color riot, the truth is I do not feel good walking amidst my peers. I was only working with younger ones. I began to choose young ones that are very younger to me. I began to choose them as my friend. Now someone looked at my mom one day and said to my mom, Jumoke Otenironu. And my mom said, what did she do? She said, my mom said, oh, thank you. Which means that I'm not even thinking. Like the children, the little ones are my friend. And my mom said, oh, thank you, if that is it. At least she has some people that are friends. If you think that not having you as a friend is a problem, so no problem. But what I know is that she's okay. Having those little ones as a friend, she's okay. So I was rejecting myself in so many ways. When it comes to some competitions generally, I told myself that I cannot go for them. Meanwhile, why the representative are in front answering questions, I'm always behind, telling them that this is what to say. I'm always behind knowing what to say. But the moment I come before everyone to answer questions, God, forget it. Nothing will come. Even what I read, I'll forget. For me to answer a question, I'll be shivering. So I had self-rejection for myself, and this created a lot of fear. That is the fault. It creates fear. That is what body shaming does. Body shaming creates fear. You look at everything and it seems as if you are the only one on the other side of life. You are afraid to go out, afraid to mingle with your colleagues, afraid to mingle with your mates, afraid to go to party because someone will look at you and want to give a comment. Now I was mixing it together with telling me that I wear a color riot. That's body shaming and color riot. Sometimes when I want to go out, and I have people who would even assist me going out, I'll tell them, I'm not going. I don't have clothes. Not because I did not have clothes, but because deep down I told myself, if I go there, I want to mess up myself. What others will wear will be better than myself. They will speak. I'll just be looking. And that's what I do those days. I'm a very good laughing gas. Like when you want to call someone a laughing gas, someone that likes to laugh, I can laugh. That laughing was a way to help myself to be joyful. I developed that at some point in my life. So I will sit back and tell myself, I'll just go there and be looking like Momo. That's why I used to say to myself. So instead of going there while my mates are contributing to this, contributing to that, why not sit back home? Because I believe my word does not count. I believe that no one would think I'm making meaning. So I rejected myself. It created fear. Even there was a time in my Sunday school that I didn't know that others were reading. We're reading motivational books, spiritual books. We're teaching one another. And because of the fear of home, I will sit back and I'll be looking at them. I won't join them in doing anything because I do not want something else to eat me when I get home. So I sit back. I had fear for a lot of things, but within me, I feel very strong. Like I'm always feeling like I can do this thing. But you see, facially, I cannot. But when it comes to carrying hard objects, strong things, you always see me there. But when it comes to talking, I would rather be behind than to speak. Materially, career-wise, you always find someone who has gone through body shaming, who would have experience of a low self-esteem. Yes, check them. Everyone in this category. Now, we always have always longing to be behind. We always believe that others are better than ourselves. Others are better than ourselves. And we believe that every other person are older than us. There's that mindset is always stick to our memory. Especially when you see that someone is taller than you. You just believe that this person is older than you because you create fear. And there's this thing about culture also that build fear. Especially the Yorubas believe that everyone you see, it does not have to do with age. This time when fear comes, adding to culture and being raised from the pressure you got from home, the discipline from home. The moment you have all of these things together, you see every taller person than you as older than you. So the last thing I found out is that I know there is more which I'll be expecting from you. And the last thing I found out is that we accept blame, we accept faults. Now, it's not just body shaming that make us accept fault, accept blame. is also part of the things that we're also facing. Is either from home, from our vicinity, the society is giving to us. So we tend to accept faults, accept blame. Because what does body shaming come to do with accepting fault, accepting blame? It's because we always want to pull back. We always want to pull back. So we accept fault so that we can pull back. And what they do is they add up to our pain. So I know you are out there and you are listening to me. Excuse me, sir, excuse me, ma. There's that boy out there, there's that girl out there that you need to help build his or her capacity. You need to help them build themselves and get out of this self-rejection, this self-nailing that we have built for ourselves. It is as though we build a cage. That is what body shaming is. As though you build a cage around you. I have experienced it. So build all sort of negativity all around us. And all of these things hold us back. Understand that emotional trauma does not build, it kills. And it gives us all sort of wrong memory about people, wrong mindset about everybody, about things. It does not help. Silencing your voice does not help. We look at things going on around us, not because we don't know what to say, but because we're like, I shouldn't talk. Especially when you have those that will always tell you to shut up every time. But you need to speak. You have rejected yourself enough. You need to speak. Yes. There's that smart self in you. Allow it. A lot of unknown fear we have created for ourselves. Beat down this fear. One of the comments I received was that, I love your confidence to have come out, to show your face out like this. I love your courage. And when I look at that word, I was like, well, so there's actually someone that actually wants to hear my voice. Not because I wasn't talking out there, but because I will not talk in a large place, like making sure my face is heard loudly. I will not. I would rather talk to 1 or 2 people, maximum 10, 5. But someone is saying that he loved the fact that I have the courage to push out. So you too. I am already loving the fact that you are pushing yourself out. Stand up from this self-rejection. It was not pain. It wasn't. It was just paining. It was paining. And that I did in my place of work. I'll just keep quiet. But right now, like I'm telling you right now, I am taking that necessary step. So I am encouraging you, get out. I have found out that most of the people that are in this kind of thing I talk about, they are either the melancholy set of people or the phlegmatic. You cannot find a sanguine person or a choleric person in this. Hardly will you find. Not because we don't have our part in this body shaming of a thing, but hardly will you find that. You have been silent enough. Please come out. So I will stop here and I will come again, yes, to you to share the positive side. And there is a positive side in this same negative thing that I have seen. Yes. This negative effect that I've just talked about today. There's a positive side of it that I've seen, practice, and that has also helped. So I will come back with the next video on the positive side, and I'm sure that by that time